Hello and welcome to the second monthly annual Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die Mailbag Spectacular Extravaganza. We got 3 entire people here. I'm Sam. I don't know if we do nicknames for these.
I'm Evan, and I'm doing a nickname, aka Doug Ford. In my parliament, it's more likely than you might think.
Okay, well then I'm Alex, aka Elwoods for President 2020.
Okay, then in that case, I'm Sam, aka Post-Scarcity Malone. Yeah, we're kind of light on people for this one. Everyone's busy or watching E3 or busy watching E3 or gaming.
We have too many gamers, that's the thing.
We need to kill some of the gamers. That wouldn't really solve the problem.
No, I mean, I did theorize that we should go back to bullying nerds. Because I don't like them.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who is literally surrounded by, comic book posters, because I'm in the office.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of who among us is not a nerd. I think it's probably just Linus.
Because he's the only Chad and we're all incels.
He's the only person here who is Chad passing.
Well, that's the thing, he's passing. He's not actual Chad.
Yeah, but you can't... Yeah. I don't know. Should we kill him?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess that'll happen when we hit $200 a month on Patreon.
Which, thanks to all our, lovely Patreon donors, looks pretty soon.
I don't know how to feel about it.
You shouldn't give us money.
I really, when we made the Patreon and we were doing the goals, I think none of us really thought that 200 was even feasible, so I didn't really think about it. I just put kill a host as a joke. And now we're way too close to it, and I don't know what to do about that. But
we got the firing squad lined up. I'm booking them.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing who dies.
It's definitely me, Matter Brooks.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is all of us hosts assumed from day one that it would be Brooks who gets killed first. But Brooks has only been on a couple episodes. I don't think he has the notoriety.
Well, but he's famous outside of the show. He's like, he's like the Harry Styles of the band.
You sure you want to commit to that statement?
No, I'm trying to think of what's a good band where one of them is way more famous.
He's the Robbie Williams of whatever band Robbie Williams was in.
Take that!
I guess that works because I don't know who that is.
Take that. I was like, oh wow, take that reference, and then didn't know who the band was, so...
He's famous, but, relatively speaking.
He is.
Not good.
Oh, Take That is the name of the...
It's the name of the band, yeah.
I thought you were just, cheering for the reference.
Oh, I was.
For the joke.
But, in a different way than you thought.
Brooks. Well, now that I've made a fool of myself, as is tradition...
Yeah, because you don't know your 90s boy bands. British 90s boy bands.
I only know the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Wait, you don't know the light funky ones? LFO?
I don't know what you mean by that.
The LFO, the light funky ones. You don't known for their classic hit Summer Girls.
This is
I feel really stupid now because I'm the only person making a reference.
Oh, that's
to it.
That's actually a name of a group.
Yeah, it's not a joke. It's not like a stupid goof with no punchline. It's actually a real band. It's like 1 week, but by a boy band, basically, where the chorus is about one thing and then the singer just free association raps the verses, and it's extremely bad.
Sounds good.
Sounds fine. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
What's the song called?
Summer Girls.
It's not Sex You Up the Way You Like It.
At least we know what song's playing at the end of the show.
I'm glad we got that out of the way early.
I don't think we do that for these.
Oh, fuck.
But I'm always happy to open us up to new opportunities to get our episodes taken down.
Henry Kissinger's Pokemon going to get sued.
By the light funky
really
ones.
Should. By the light funky ones.
Today in court we're hearing the case of
Are they
the
called
light
that
funky...
because they're all white or something?
Yes. Today we're here in court to hear the case of the light funky ones v. Henry Kissinger's Pokemon going to die.
LFO v. HKIPGTD.
In what is being called the stupidest legal proceedings in history, Henry Kissinger's Pokemon going to die is being sued by the light funky ones.
And while we're at it, they're also getting sued by Henry Kissinger, just for good measure.
Well, that's what the Patreon money's for.
Yeah. Let's do questions. Our first question comes from Anonymous, this is going to be a fun one because I'm the only. We got one person from each country here. I'm the only American here, and this is an America question. Who are the people most likely? Huh?
I was going to say there's only 3 countries on the planet.
That's right, all 3. Who are the people most likely to install a military government in America? Take your pick, but if it's going to be anyone from the Democratic Party, it's going to be Tulsi Gabbard.
Who is Tulsi Gabbard?
Tulsi Gabbard is a congresswoman from Hawaii who... She got a lot of positive publicity among us Bernie supporters during the primaries because she was a progressive who was a big fan of Bernie, but also she has some issues. Let's just leave it at that because I don't remember too well what the details are, but I'm going to say Donald Trump.
I mean, that's the obvious choice.
Because he's the president.
That's true. What do you think a military government would look like in the US?
Just so fucking stupid.
I think it would look like the current US government.
It would look like our police do. But also Donald Trump would be there.
I think it's going to be Joe Kennedy III.
I was hoping it would be the Kennedy that accidentally voted for the wrong thing.
Oh, man.
Because he accidentally votes for a military government.
Accidentally voted to militarize our government.
Yeah.
He's going to be like Jar Jar Binks in episode 3 where... He accidentally votes for the Empire to start.
It's a bit like Jar Jar Binks.
Is that literally true?
Yeah, in episode 3, Jar Jar Binks cast the deciding vote to make the Empire thing.
Was it an accident?
No, it's on purpose, but it's just funny to me that they gave Jar Jar a massive fucking plot point.
What the fuck? I haven't seen Star Wars episodes 2 or 3, so that's very fucking weird to me, and probably to everyone.
Well, there's my Star Wars fact of the day for everyone who's listening.
May the 4th be with you.
Yep, June the 6th be with you. Or June the 10th be with you.
It's not June 6th.
Okay, look, the date on my computer is in numbers, and I'm a dumbass.
What day is it going to be in? Do you want it written out?
No, it's just like it's...
Mine's in hieroglyphics.
It's 2018-06-10, and my dumbass brain saw the one and went, June 6th, makes sense, and just said it out loud immediately without thinking about it.
That's fine, it's also not May 4th.
True.
Now, this is a good question, because this is going to give away how behind we are on questions. Akumioi asks, LOL, you hear about people getting bent out of shape about known cop show Brooklyn Nine-Nine getting canceled for like 6 hours? People who watch TV are wild as hell.
That's funny, because that happened a month ago.
Yeah. I like
Question answered.
I like the idea of people who watch TV. I'm like, people don't watch TV and I forget about that.
Yeah.
Good for them.
I don't watch TV.
Oh, okay. Hipster.
I don't have a TV. That's the lie. I don't have cable. But I have to have a TV for gaming.
Of course. That's the only reason to have a TV.
That's the only thing that exists in life, if I remember correctly. Happy E3, everybody.
Happy Ready Player One.
Yeah. Akumioi also asks, oh, I want to clarify that I sent the last question before y'all did Lightbringers on the last episode. I don't even know if that's referring to this question that I just read, so...
I think it is. I think
that.
When it was cancelled, it might have been... I'm having flashbacks. I think it might have been Linus's Lightbringer.
We really got to get better about clearing out this inbox.
Well, don't we... we can say that we saved some for Mailbag and just lie to everyone.
Yeah, that's what
this segment
Anonymous
is for.
You'd think that we would go from oldest questions to newest. Anonymous asks, hey, HKIPGTD, no D, Henry Kissinger's Pokemon going to... I don't know. Y'all are lovely and make good podcasts. Thank you. Sorry for making fun of you just now. I was wondering why there are so many TERFs in England. Transphobia is clearly a huge issue everywhere, but from what I've seen, TERFs have a presence in media and wider culture in the UK than they thankfully don't have access to elsewhere. Thanks, Cass.
So I thought about this, and I think, obviously, I haven't really experienced that much transphobia because I'm not trans. I've definitely encountered TERFs in my experiences navigating the English lifestyle. I mean, I really think it's just because we're a conservative country that pretends we're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're very low. The image, I think, that the UK tries to project outside is obviously the sort of regal, everyone's white and, religious and the queen and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or it's, we're a multicultural society and everything's fine and lovely and we're a bit like Europe and a bit like America. Best of both worlds. But yeah, realistically, it's a conservative country, and it's the main political spectrum is like far right to centrist. Maybe left of center. Like that's why everyone's jumped onto Jeremy Corbyn, because even though he's not like a wild leftist, he's really like the furthest left we've seen in a while. Like before that, Labour was fully centrist. And that was the main opposition. So yeah, I would say it's a conservative country, it's like a religious country, and there really is just this sort of, like the remnants of the past, really, that's still here.
Sort of like, if I have to be, okay with all of this progressivism, at least I can still have this group of people that I discriminate against.
Yeah, like it's the sort of the main, I don't know if I'd say the main kind of like feminist, ideology it is pretty radical, and like when TERFs kind of like they lean back and they really pat themselves on the back for being so for women, that's really their whole deal. But it's like it's still a bit, I think, with every part of the progressive, with air quotes around it, British politics, there's still something which is like really, really far back and conservative. And yeah, like the TERFs in England and the UK are a product of that.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Here's something I've thought about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the answer to this question. I don't know if either of you would have an answer, but it's just something I've thought about. Is I see a lot of people say things like J.K. Rowling is a TERF, Graham I don't know how to say his name, Linehan, whatever, Father Ted, IT crowd guy.
Oh yeah.
People call him a TERF, and I see a lot of that, and I've never understood, because I mean, the RF stands for radical feminist, which I really don't think either of them are at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like people are using TERF as just a shorthand for transphobe these days.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't know if that's a distinction that matters, I guess, is my question.
I think I feel like the radical feminist is kind of like if I think of TERF, I think of like Tumblr TERF bangs,
Mm-hmm.
That specific, like, kill all men, like Tumblr post you make. But yeah, I think there is just like a general air of transphobia, but like obviously the people I like ideally surround myself with aren't like that, and I do forget that there are people who are obviously very transphobic. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I did think Graham Linehan could be or Linehan or whatever, could kind of be considered like a radical feminist, because he always tries to couch his shitty things that he says in like feminist language.
I mean, yeah, I just don't know.
That's what TERFs do,
the word radical is what really throws me off.
Yeah, but that's what TERFs do, is they like, that's why...
Because there's nothing radical about transphobia.
No, and it's so they like, you see something and you initially agree with it, and then you look back on it, and it's dog whistle shit. Because I've witnessed that myself, where someone's been like, we need to protect women. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. And then you go to their blog or you find out something else they've said, and they're not talking about the women I want to talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, frankly, to the question, I don't really know the answer, but my guess is because it's we like to think that we're further along than we are, and we're not. Because
the world is a fuck.
That's true.
Next question comes from, okay, here we go. Brain parse, here we go. Canvas Extemporaneous says, what ideology do each of you subscribe to? Also, Sparkle Dog personas are leftist praxis, not a question, just a fact. No opinion on the second part. I don't really know the answer to this, for me, personally. I consider myself a socialist, a leftist, and a dumbass.
As I said in my tweet, I think yesterday, I like posting online.
Yeah, we all like posting online.
I don't know.
I mean, I feel like I'm technically like a a socialist democrat or something. But when you take that online test. But for me, I don't know. Is this bad that I don't like super ascribing to terminology? Because I feel like it can get, especially with like leftist politics.
It can get
real messy,
divisive. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that at this point, I think that there's not a whole super huge benefit that I see personally to all the labels and terminology when we all gotta just work together,
Yeah.
#resist.
Also,
he's not here right now to answer, but I know if Josh was here, he would want me to say, or he would want to say that he's a Republican.
He is.
Futch Cassidy says, "Wow, I have no idea what this is even talking about. Something about that guy who climbed the building in France and Mr. Macron awarding him citizenship."
Oh, I heard about this.
I have no idea what this is about.
So, basically, it was this guy, I believe he was, he immigrated to France, and there was a kid who was in danger, and he, climbed up this building to save him, and then Macron awarded him with citizenship. So, it's kind of what they said in the ask.
Oh, Jesus, I'm looking at a picture of this. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was fucking gnarly.
There wasn't really part of the question to engage with, but this is a hell of a thing.
It's like a crazy story. I mean, I guess the whole comment is do you should you get citizenship? I mean, it's a good thing you got citizenship, but it's do you need to climb a fucking building to do that?
What if that just was the citizenship test?
That'd be
Can
good.
you do a sick stunt?
Tony Hawk, citizen of the world.
Yeah, you have to land a perfect 900 to get citizenship.
You have to do Christ Air or fuck off.
Yeah, in the US it's a Christ Air.
What if Citizen Kane was just about an elderly man climbing a building?
Now that's a controversy I would like, is if people were like, it's so fucked up that people have to do a Christ Air to get citizenship. I thought that there was separation of church and state. You should only have to do a 540.
540 kickflip. I mean, come on. Basic.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have to do
I guess we have to have some standards.
Canada has the highest. You have to do a 20,000 point combo or something. You just have to play Tony Hawk's games.
You have to collect all 5 videotapes.
You have to collect skate and then you can enter.
Hey, remember an hour ago as we're having this conversation where they showed a skateboard at E3 and everyone lost their shit thinking it was Skate 4 and then it wasn't?
What was it?
I don't know.
We're not gamers.
I think it was the Jeff Sessions video game or something. Kita Masaomi asks, any tips for convincing people strikes are good when it inconveniences everyone? Brazil's markets and gas stations were empty for a week because of trucker strikes, and it made people hear right-wing anti-strike smooth brains. It made people hear right-wing anti-strike smooth brains. There we go. Tips? Thoughts?
That's really hard to do, because, my university went on strike last year, I think? Yeah, last year. And most people were pretty pro, teachers, pro strike and all that. But there was, obviously quite a few people who were, angry, and understandably so angry about their, education being sort of put on pause for this to have happened. And I think the main thing that you have, you want to make sure people know is that they have, that the people who are on strike are fighting for things that don't just benefit them, but benefit people in general. So try to explain, I guess, what the strike is actually fighting for, so people just don't go, those greedy truckers or whatever, just wanting an increase in pay. Explain to them, well, no, it's about, I guess it's almost always about a broader issue, so try and bring that to light.
Right, and people don't really go on strike out of greed. They go on strike out of necessity, because whatever service they're providing is clearly important to you if you're upset that you don't have it, and it's shitty that they're being pushed to the point where they have to strike because they're not getting fairly compensated for it, a strike is an inconvenience temporarily, but think about the amount of stress that they're probably under that they were pushed to strike,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you don't get anything when you strike apart from your goals, hopefully, and then even that's not guaranteed. So you are putting a lot on risk when you strike. And I think the other thing is like showing, I'd show sort of maybe other strikes and then what was achieved with that as well, if you can.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like successful ones. How many more questions do we have? I'm going to check. We have a couple of just, I don't know, someone sending in like, hell yes, big fucking weed.
Okay,
Sorry,
very helpful.
My call just reconnected. I could just hell he has big fucking weed.
Okay, that's a good question.
Oh, I just refreshed and there is indeed. Well, now we don't even have to read it. All right. Welcome back, Evan.
Yeah, sorry about that. Discord doesn't work.
Next question from Anonymous says, who would win in a bot war in the HKIPGTD Discord server? And now this is an awkward question because Ambius, creator of AI Blaskowitz, is currently sitting in.
I did name him as well. So
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, I think it was me. I do feel slightly responsible for him.
Oh.
Like, he is my son. But he's not. I adopted him. Brookspot is our real child.
Brookspot is our real child, but in all honesty, if one of them's going to win the war, it's got to be AI Blaskowitz because Brookspot goes offline constantly. Sorry, Matt.
No, yeah. I don't know. I do, like, he's our firstborn. Really.
He is.
Our first adopted child. Because I think they're all adopted. We didn't, apart from Matt gave birth to Brookspot.
Yeah, physically out of his uterus. I think the difference, I feel like the question is, because AI Blaskowitz, I feel like, is more human. You know, he has more artificial intelligence to him, hence the name, whereas Brookspot is a lot more just like, say a thing, and Brookspot will say a thing in response, which in that sense, I think Brookspot has less vulnerability. I think that he's less weak to various attacks. Like, you can hurt AI Blaskowitz's feelings, which you can't do with Brookspot. So it's really just a question of whether Brookspot feels like randomly shutting down.
Brookspot is like, you know those little robot dogs that do backflips?
Yeah.
And then AI Blaskowitz is Sophia, that robot with the exposed skull.
From...
Just existing from life. She gets into fights with Chrissy Teigen on Twitter.
What?
You don't know Sophia?
The robot with the exposed skull?
I feel like her name's Sophia. And she's like...
Oh.
Are you talking about that
I'm
Twitter
looking at
bot
it.
that was racist?
And she was like a teenage girl, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because they fed her through fucking, like, Reddit or something, and the bot became racist.
That does sound like what would happen to a robot or a person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say...
Oh, wait.
David Cage retire, to answer your question.
We have a third contender, though. What about Septipus?
Yeah, Septipus, the dark
Septipus
horse.
doesn't count to me. Septipus is just kind of here.
I guess.
What about that bot?
Septipus isn't... AI Blaskowitz and Brookspot are like members of the family. Septipus is just like in the room.
He's the family dog.
What about that bot that makes memes that Sam banned from the server almost immediately?
Well, that one already lost, so...
Why would they fight? They love each other.
Oh, or air horn solutions.
That bot is... The second that bot does what it was brought to the server to do, I am banning it immediately. Surrey Jack 3000 says, would you say that Trump is both pudding-brained and an awful person, pea-brained and easily manipulated by the fascists around him, or just aimlessly thrashing around like a fish out of water while being an awful person?
I would say I think he believes what he says, frankly.
I think all of these things are true to me.
Yeah.
He is pudding-brained, he is pea-brained, he is an awful person, he is aimless, and he's also easily manipulated.
Pudding and pea feels harsh, because I quite like pudding and I like peas.
Yeah, but not for brains.
Pudding is too smooth for brains.
I like a lot of things, but I wouldn't want most things to be my brain.
That's a good point. I haven't really thought about
Honestly,
it.
I only really want my brain to be my brain.
Well...
I wish I didn't have
it's a tough question. I think the answer is that Donald Trump is handsome and wonderful.
I think the answer is that his name is Drumpf and he's orange and has small hands.
He is orange.
Have you noticed
He
that?
has small hands.
That
And
he's
his name is
orange?
Drumpf. Man, that was 3 for 3.
What's with this whole Trump thing? Because Trump is just as... Trump is a fart.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. I feel like we should be calling him by his name, because his name is a fart name.
Yeah, but he thinks it's good. So when you say Donald Trump, he gets mad, which is why he's ever reacted to Donald Trump.
Donny Fart?
Has Donald Trump given any indication ever that he knows that people call him Donald Trump?
Probably
He's
not.
probably tweeted about it once.
I can't imagine why he would care.
Because he cares about, like, every slight towards him, because he's a very shallow, egotistical person.
That's true. I mean, remember, we don't talk about it very much these days, but remember when there was some magazine, I think it was like Vanity Fair or something, that someone who worked there said that Donald Trump was, like, regularly over a long period of time mailing them pictures of himself with his hands circled in gold Sharpie that said, like, see, not so small.
Ugh.
We don't talk about that
They
anymore.
make gold Sharpies. My God, of course he's just a really tacky human person. I dislike him. I know that's not the controversial statement that you all tuned in to hear.
Yeah, I really wish you wouldn't say such hot takes on this podcast.
That's what I'm here for.
I remember when he first went into the Oval Office and had the curtains replaced with gold curtains, and that was, like, mind-blowing to me at the time. I was like, this fucking guy! And now it's just like, yeah, what?
Yeah, how far we've come.
Yeah, thank you, Donald. Anonymous asks, this says I meant, so maybe this is a follow-up on a question from, like, 2 months ago. If both Kissinger and Musk were both at their physical primes, who would win?
Oh yeah.
Whoever wins, we lose.
This is what host of the show, Eddie, is making a Henry Kissinger and an Elon Musk in Fire Pro Wrestling to wrestle each other, I'm told. I don't know for sure that that's true, but I think he's doing that.
Should we take bets?
I thought we already decided that, like, Kissinger would lose.
I mean, in real life, but there's only one way to find out.
When was Musk in his prime?
Which is Fire Pro Wrestling.
When was he in his prime?
When he was a baby. I think I may have said Friar Pro Wrestling, which is a very different kind of game.
Friar Tuck from Robin Hood.
Anonymous says Marxist analysis. Anonymous says Marxist analysis of Animorphs. Yes.
I think that's a request, Sam.
Can't we get Sarah on this?
I'll save this for when Sarah's on.
Yeah, this is her speciality.
Or just send it to the Wonder Years. Anonymous says, oh, this is gonna suck. A couple months ago, I saw someone on Tumblr compare asexuals to Nazis and white supremacists, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since. What are some good Galaxy Brain takes you've seen?
Sorry, I just had to let it out there.
I mean, I would say the whole monosexual thing was a bit of a Galaxy Brain moment that we all had on Tumblr. Well, not we, but it was a thing.
Which was this?
Basically that gay people are privileged because they're only attracted to one gender.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like straight people, which doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah.
There's
some bad takes on Tumblr.
That's really what it is. There are good takes on Tumblr, but there are also some really bad ones. Vice put out, I remember, like, just when we sort of started, Vice put out last year, like a top 50 worst hot takes, and that is just a list of just stupid shit. It's really good. I'm reading it now.
Footballers worried about concussion can play chess instead, says Roy Keane.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good list. I really wanted to cover it, and then we were early baby podcasters. I mean, a lot of it, depression isn't real. It's always a fabulous hot take.
Oh, here's the alternative facts. That was a classic.
Mm.
Oh, David Clark. Man, earlier today I saw David Clark tweeted something about, like, true athletes, something, come to the White House, blah, blah, blah. The whoever's are bad athletes. Remember back in the days of Michael Jordan or some shit like that? And the picture that he attached to it was an action figure of Michael Jordan.
Oh, I got a really good one here, which is from Ann Coulter, and it's a bit horrible. But she's...
From Ann Coulter?
Yeah, surprisingly. It says, I don't believe Hurricane Harvey is God's punishment for Houston electing a lesbian mayor, but that is more credible than climate change.
Okay. You know what? Actually, my favorite hot take is if you've ever seen Ann Coulter writing about soccer, she hates it so much. She basically said that the United States being excited about the World Cup is going to lead to the demise of Western society or something like that.
Did she realize that the West predominantly like soccer or football?
Yeah, growing interest in soccer, a sign of nation's moral decay.
Because people think because you're not getting hit in the fucking head that it's for cowards.
Yeah, basically. I mean, this is too long to read here, but just Google Ann Coulter soccer. America's favorite national pastime. Hating soccer is the name of her article. It's my favorite hot take of all time.
I think my favorite hot take of all time was on Twitter about 2 weeks ago, I think. Classic left-wing Twitter account Soakdem Raven spent about 2 days arguing why necrophilia wasn't bad before deactivating.
Christ. Is that really the hill you want to die on?
I know, first of all, it's the hill that she'd like you to die on. And, yeah, I know, it was a very strange thing to get that worked up about, because, why would you even bother? That's a thing you'd never have to tell anyone.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta draw a line somewhere, and for me personally, I think that the line is somewhere before necrophilia.
I'd have to agree with you there, Sam.
I know I said I wasn't going to read this Ann Coulter thing, but I do want to read one of her points about why soccer is so bad. And it's, you can't use your hands in soccer, thus eliminating the danger of having to catch a fly ball. What sets man apart from the lesser beasts, besides a soul, is that we have opposable thumbs. Our hands can hold things. Here's a great idea. Let's create a game where you're not allowed to use them.
Goalkeeping.
No.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Doesn't that make the game more difficult to play, which would make it better because it's more of a physical challenge?
God didn't give us these thumbs to play soccer. He gave us these thumbs to play football.
If you play a game that you can't use your hands, then you are gay.
That's true.
God gave us these thumbs so we could say, who has 2 thumbs and is ready to drink? This guy.
That's right. Like you do before every football game.
Every single game.
American football. I'm so sorry. I should be more inclusive. Anonymous asks, given that we live in a nightmare capitalist dystopia, why do we not at least have mechs yet? If I'm going to be murdered by the state, I expect it to be ace pilot Baron Trump doing a big steppy with a big robot. Thanks.
Metal Wolf Chaos is coming soon, apparently, so we'll have mechs then.
Mm-hmm.
Trump will see it and be like, I want one of those, and then he'll get a mech.
Honestly, I think that Elon Musk is going to invent mechs any fucking day now.
He's going to invent
Elon Mechs, thank you.
I got it. Okay, so Elon Musk invents a mech, and he calls it Thrush.
I was going to say Elon Mechs, but okay.
Either way, Thrush Mechs is the child of Grimes because she paints it or something. Right, anyway. So then he's gonna...
Her brain is in it.
He uses that to kill Donald Trump, and he's the one who launches the military government of the United States.
Elon Musk, welcome to the resistance.
Got a callback right here.
To give a more serious answer, I think the reason we don't have mechs is because they don't seem practical.
Yeah. I mean...
unless it's Baron Trump stepping on you with a robot.
I mean, I imagine the military is, designing some sort of, armor. You know, some sort of thing. But,
Fallout power armor.
As far as... Yeah, exactly. As far as
Gamers?
giant mechs go... Gamers?
I love gaming.
As far as giant mechs go, I don't see that really being completely plausible, unfortunately.
Not with the technology we have at the moment, but I'm sure in 20 years we'll have them. You know what though? On a semi-related note, did you see that picture of Elon Musk at his flamethrower first 100 or 1,000 sales event or whatever? And there was a married couple with a baby, and they were literally blasting fire out of the flamethrower 2 inches above the fucking baby's stroller.
You know,
That's so dark that it's kind of like weirdly funny.
You can't make this shit up,
No?
I swear to God.
That sounds like what would happen
There's
in my...
fire like 5 inches above your baby's face, you idiots.
God, that sounds as though I would make up in my Thrush Mechs fantasy. That he baptizes the
does.
babies with fire.
Oh, God.
Well, great parent he'll be to Thrush.
Oh, God. Interstellar Princess asks, how are we finally going to get rid of pennies in the U.S.?
Well, they're going to cancel the Big Bang Theory. Am I right, folks?
I don't get why we still are making them. It doesn't make sense.
I mean,
I just don't.
we have
Like
pennies.
I don't know why we're making the Big Bang Theory still anymore either.
What?
Because
Keeping this
you
bit
guys
going.
in Canada got rid of them.
No, it's still on.
Correct me if I'm wrong. What you did to get rid of them was you just stopped making them, and then sales got rounded up to like the nearest 5 cents is all that it was.
Yeah, that's entirely like you just said no, and
It
then
seems.
they stopped.
What I'm saying is, it seems like an incredibly simple process that would take no effort. It seems like it takes more effort to not do it than to do it.
No, you're absolutely right. Like, it's the same thing with the whole America being the only country in the world that doesn't use the metric system.
Anyway, what's that all about?
I don't. I feel
Why?
attacked right now.
Answer for your country's faults.
Okay, here's what I'll say. There are some things in the non-metric system that are better. I think that Fahrenheit is 1,000,000% better for weather, temperature, than for... Well, okay. No, wait, I fucking talked about this like 3 times on this podcast now. I can't do it again. I can't announce my idea for a temperature scale again.
Okay.
Anyway, you get rid of the pennies by throwing them in the garbage.
What about what pennies made out of in America? Are they just like copper?
They're probably mostly copper, if I had to guess.
I guess, could you melt them down and make like a statue to Donald Trump?
That's most definitely a crime.
Why?
Yeah, you're not allowed to deface currency in the United States or in Canada. It's illegal.
It's metal.
It's
Great country
you can't
laws.
destroy money.
Well, listen, I'm not a law
Okay,
expert.
well now hold on. I've been a fool. Pennies are actually almost entirely zinc. They are just copper plated.
Imagine a world
melt
without
them
zinc.
down, crush up the zinc. A lot of people are
Can't do that.
a lot of people are deficient in zinc, so
Okay.
Just eat
you could
pennies.
help the children, feed them pennies.
Just centrifuge your pennies
Do you,
and then eat the zinc
do
part.
you remember when like Jontron said that pussy tastes like pennies?
No.
Because that's something that's
No.
been burned into my brain. And I feel like that's the reason I'm the person I am today. That's why I always say stupid things. And I'm haunted and never sleep.
Why does he know what pennies taste like?
Honestly, like, I only know 2 things about JonTron, and that's that he said a bunch of racist things and that he was once a Game Grump.
I think he said it
He
on
was
Game Grump,
once a
so it
Game
might have
Grump.
been Ego Raptor. Either way, the other one was salted milk, and I'm not happy about that at all.
Salted milk? Again, why do you know what that tastes like?
He put salt in milk. And
I
it's
mean,
Okay,
like,
I have to confess at this point, I do know what pennies taste like. I definitely have put a penny in my mouth when I was a child. I'm
oh, I
sorry,
mean,
everyone.
everyone's done that, but like, who puts salt
you.
in milk?
I mean, you know
Now
what?
that's just fucking weird.
I mean, you know what salt tastes like. You know what milk tastes like. Surely you can infer what salted milk tastes like.
Yeah, but there's stuff that you
know,
can buy.
honestly, I'm trying to imagine it with my tongue's brain, and I actually can't imagine the taste of it.
Or
My tongue's
you know what
brain.
pussy tastes like.
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Leave it vague. I'm sorry.
Wait, what tastes like?
Vaginas.
Have you ever heard of
I'm sorry,
pussy?
I genuinely... Look, my fucking audio keeps cutting out because Discord is a
I know,
fucking
I know.
shit.
The audience trying to
application.
save you from all the stupid shit I've been
Y'all
saying
hear
tonight.
about pussy? That was one of the things that they said at E3 today.
Wait, what? I believed you for like half a second there, and I was like, oh no. What
Just
happened?
raucous applause. Yeah!
Have those weird anime porn games finally gone mainstream?
Which brings us to our next question.
Oh no.
Anonymous asks, Todd, may I have some games?
Todd. You have to say it in like a little famished
I
peasant.
don't know how to pronounce the O with an umlaut.
Todd, may I have some games?
Todd, may I have some games?
Let's go to IKEA and buy me. I don't know what accent I'm doing at all. I'm sorry.
This is the
Just
dumbest
a
fucking
general
podcast
racism
on
accent.
Earth.
I've been to Europe.
Yeah, so Todd unveiled the big pussy game at E3 today.
Can we have a spin-off show
Todd
called Big
released
Pussy
a Skyrim
Gaming?
Pussy Edition.
Big pussy gaming.
We always,
God.
every single time I've been on, we've got distracted and started talking about games.
That's fine. Everyone who listens to this podcast is a filthy gamer. Hence this question. You know what I like is how almost every day out of the year, everyone is like just ranting and raving about fuck Todd Howard. And then when E3 happens, everybody is like, please, Todd, Father Todd, please.
Again, I know, but he announced Skyrim Pussy Edition, and I mean, like, I'm looking forward to that.
What? So, do you play that like on a pussy?
There's a pussy peripheral.
It's just Skyrim, but instead of the dragons, you've just got
Yelling
just a pussy.
Fusro into the pussy.
It's the heel slap version of. It's the heel slut version of Skyrim.
I don't want to think about heel sluts anymore today.
Folks, join the HKIPGTD Discord for more talk about heel sluts.
I know we don't usually plug other people's podcasts, but the F plus heel sluts episode is very good. That's a lie. We plug other podcasts constantly. For fuck's sake, next question comes from Anonymous. What's sexier, healing people in FTL or subbing as Catherine the Great? This is a motherfucking... This is not a question for us. This is a question for the F+. I'm deleting it.
This question is a war crime, and I'm offended that I had to hear it.
I like the question. Don't get me wrong.
If we didn't want to answer war crimes, then we should have named our podcast after Henry Kissinger.
That's true. Anonymous asks, who's yo daddy?
I mean,
Todd Howard.
He's all our daddies.
Sorry, Alex. Let me translate. Oi, mister, you me dad.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. It's Jeremy Corbyn. As I've stated many times on the show. In the
Oi,
Discord
mister,
of the show,
who's your
he is my
dad?
biological father.
Yeah. We'll believe it someday.
Thank you.
Jeremy Corbyn, dad
mine
of the
is
show?
Republican.
Who? Which one?
My dad? Which Republican or which dad?
Which Republican?
Do you have more than one dad?
The one who is my dad.
Okay.
Oh, I was doing a goof. I wanted you to, like, pick a Republican to be your father.
Oh, I mean, shit.
John McCain.
Fuck. It's John McCain.
Josh
This is gonna be
Josh's
such a
dad is...
messy recording.
You and Josh are half brothers because his dad is John McCain too.
No, his dad is John McCain 2, the sequel.
The squeakquel.
John McCain full throttle.
To John, to
who's
McCain.
your dad, Evan?
Okay.
Evan, who's your dad?
This is so stupid.
Just once.
Answer me. Tell me now the name of your dad.
Me? Me?
Anonymous asks, did y'all see how they made the new Devil May Cry protagonist really hot? Imagine if Nintendo weren't cowards and did that to Mario, thanks.
No.
They already did. His name is Wario.
Hasn't the Devil May Cry protagonist always been hot? He's always been hot.
I don't think, well, to be fair, this is DMC. I just read it out loud as Devil May Cry. I don't know what the distinction is. I've never played any of the games.
But
Are they both named Dante?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, DMC was
White hair Dante is not hot. I think we can agree
I
on
think
that.
he is. He's got like a Leonardo DiCaprio thing going on. But like,
He just looks dumb.
listen, I know what women want.
He just looks like a young grandpa.
I thought he was already hot. DMC was like a reboot of Devil May Cry.
Also, they already did make Mario hot. They released a 3D model of his penis at E3.
Here, I'm posting a picture of the new guy. He just looks like Gerard Way to me.
No, he's not hot. I mean, I would say original Dante. Yeah, he's got swagger about him. See, it's not always looks. Okay, if you're a guy and you're listening, here's my advice.
Just be like Dante.
Be like, just carry around a big fucking sword. and have like your bare chest out and a big leather jacket, and women will want to fuck you, especially if you have a motorcycle.
And just get your combo up.
Yeah. I mean, I was reading a book today and it mentioned Keanu Reeves driving a motorcycle, and I went, just have a motorcycle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Thanks
Keanu
for listening
Reeves?
to my TED Talk.
Wait, the motorcycle was
Reeves.
enough to
And
get past Keanu Reeves' whole thing
All
of like
thing.
being a deeply unattractive man.
I don't think he is.
No, he's not.
He's like a really unpleasant looking dude. He's got like a weird ass face.
He's cute. See, this is what I
don't-
mean.
I don't think he's like super hot by any means, but I don't think he's a bad look. I think he looks pretty good.
He's my fave.
Sometimes he looks different. Sometimes he looks the same.
I feel
Hope
like
this helps.
his dopiness is kind of his selling point.
Yeah, I think he's a good looking guy.
He's a good-looking dude.
I don't understand either of you. Looks like
I mean,
a
I'm not gonna
transient
fuck
in like
him.
half of his photos. Not that there's anything wrong with being a transient. Obviously, leftism. But like, he's like to me just not a pleasant looking guy. He doesn't look clean.
This is so
Well,
harsh.
I mean, you're looking at still images from The Matrix.
Yeah, he's not hot in the Matrix.
I mean, I'm gonna stop slandering.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not here to face shame.
No.
I think everyone looks good.
Listen, this is a pro Keanu Reeves podcast. Don't listen to what Evan is saying.
Yeah, so if you, I assume anyone who just tuned in obviously skipped to this part of the episode. So just to put a disclaimer right here at the top of the episode, 58 minutes in, if you're not intent on boning Keanu Reeves, you can skip this one.
Yeah. Evan will be banned.
And all of the rest
and
of
will
them.
be assassinated. It's now written down in black inked who the host that will die will be. And it's Evan for...
I'm looking at the Patreon says it, which is weird
Yeah.
because nobody updated it. And let's wrap this up with our last question. I know I said I wasn't going to read it, but what better way to end this mailbag than Anonymous's question? Hell yes, big fucking weed.
Hell yeah.
I
we
agree.
all love... Yeah, we all love hell yes, big fucking weed.
Yeah, I love to smoke it and be high on it.
Hell yes, big fucking pussy gaming. Good night.
Forget big booty bitches. Now it's all about big pussy bitches.
The first thing I oh god. The first thing I do every morning when I wake up is just open palm slam big weed into my mouth.
All right.
Ladies
That's
and
enough.
gentlemen, thanks for listening to fucking
Thanks for listening. Thanks for donating. Thank you for being a friend.
Memento Poke
And whatever else.
Memento Pokemore?
Memento Pokemori first and foremost.
Yeah.
And also last but not least. I don't know how that works.
It's a list of one.
Yeah. Yeah. First, foremost, last, and not least. Memento Pokemori.
Memento Pokemore.